You know the old saying, selling like hotcakes? What does that even mean? What is a hotcake anyway? They should change it to selling like Hondas, because right now Hondas are selling faster than ever. Probably because they're so rugged, long-lasting, and fuel-efficient. And if you want one, you should get to your local Honda dealer right away. Check out the 8-passenger Pilot, or maybe the adventurous Passport. But you gotta do it fast because Hondas are selling like, well, Hondas. New models are arriving right now. Don't wait. See your local Honda dealer today.
With a Walmart Plus membership, you can get fresh groceries delivered free the same day. Because planning family dinners is so simple. Said no parent ever. You've got one kid who's a vegan today, another who only eats dinosaur-shaped nuggets. You've got soccer practices and flugelhorn practices. You've got enough on your plate. Walmart Plus has you covered. Get fresh groceries and more at the low prices you love with free same-day delivery. Walmart Plus. Start your free trial today. $35 order minimum. Restrictions apply. See membership details.
The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Jimmy, this is MC Alfred. And Ozzy. I'm just chilling, Jimmy Star, yo, sitting down and designing. Where every man them are thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't trust me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfred, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
British punk, yo, what I wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got to fix our camera a little bit and fix our light a little bit. But what's up, everybody? We got an exciting show for you today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hang on, I'm fixing this. How's everybody doing? Before we get started, let's say hi to my... That's it. That's as white as... That's as bright as it goes. That's as yellow as it goes. I know I did. It's on his...
Mamma mia, this man is going to put
Look,
me in the nut house. That's white.
That's as far as it goes. I have it all the way.
Jesus Christ, I'm going to kill him.
Anyway, what's up, everybody?
I'm going to kill him one day. Right on the air, I'm going to murder him on the air. I really am.
So before we get started, let's say hi to everybody, starting off with our cool, outrageous man about town, Mr. Ron Russell.
Not so outrageous. I mean, gee, I don't feel so hot. You know, it was lousy weather here. It was raining last night and freezing cold. There's snow in the mountains, which is beautiful. But today turned out to be a beautiful day, sunny. And I was out in the garden, and it was really weird seeing greenery, palm trees, flowers, and then in the distance, snow-capped mountains.
Absolutely.
Very beautiful. But anyway, I got to deal with this man today. Oh, mamma mia, what am I going to do?
What's up, chat room? So, chat room. Okay, what's up? Oh, here's Astro, everybody. Come on, Astro. So what's up, everybody? We want to welcome Hub Reynolds Jr. is in the chat room. Cindy Lady Lake's in the chat room.
Good boy.
Don Hinton is in the chat room. Hey, Don, how are you?
Good boy.
Backpack John is in the chat room. We got a fun show, you guys. We have actor, producer, and writer Tyler Main coming on. Then we have Jimmy Rooney, who's an amazing voiceover actor, coming on. He does the voices of Disney characters and E.T. and all kinds of people like that, so it should be a lot of fun.
I'm quitting the show, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. No. Dog on me, you camera crooked. I'm a cranky.
Okay, well, we have stuff going on, so let's go. Get over it.
Listen, Mary, don't tell me to get over it, you big queen. Please.
Say hi. Hey, B. Claudia just joined us, too, in the chat room.
Maria Con over here. She's evil today. Right? Maria Con, which quickly said is Maricon. Is Maria Con. Look at him. He's got a beard. His hair is all astray. You look like a mess. You look like he escaped from a nursing home.
Anyway, that's okay.
Or he looks homeless. Oh, by the way, you can't call homeless people homeless anymore. It insults them. You have to say misplaced people.
Okay, that's nice.
They're misplaced. Well, the ones out here aren't so misplaced. They're all loaded on drugs, and they're stoned. And then we have hypodermic needles now at the bus stop, which were found.
So what's up?
I don't know exactly what's going on with these misplaced people.
What's up? Artist Miss Kin has joined us. Lots of cool things going on. I want to let everybody know real quick, if you're in California, we have a great event going on in Malibu this weekend. It's through Sue Wong and things that she does, but it is Love Amazon Malibu Style 2022. It's a fundraising event to save the Amazon. It's at the Tracy Park Gallery on February 26th at 4 p.m. It's located at 3939 Cross Creek Road in Malibu. Going to be a lot of fun. Lots of people coming to it. Also, our guest is already here, but like we can. What do you want to go?
Speaking nicely to me now.
Yes.
Well.
And I have a cold, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't have COVID. I just have a cold, like people used to have back in the old days.
He's got gonorrhea. He's got syphilis. He's got chlamydia. He's got everything. I mean, you name it, he's got it. Right, James?
That's right. That's right. Anyway, say hi to everybody in the chat room.
I will not say hi to anyone.
Okay, come on.
No, I'm going to be a brat.
I know, but I feel sick, and so just keep going. Let's go, because we got a great show
Apologize
today.
to me.
I didn't do anything wrong.
We'll make believe. Just
okay, I apologize.
That goes for everything you have ever done. There we go. So we did our fight, folks. Now let's have the show. Anyway, I'm excited. Not Mickey Rooney, but James Rooney's coming on. He and I met at an affair in L.A., and we hit it off, boy, like brothers. And the humor was incredible because he was saying Judy Garland stories, and I was saying Jane Russell stories. And we knew everybody in Hollywood at the same time. We probably were at the same parties, didn't recognize each other because we were 50 years younger. And now we're 50 years older, and we don't look like we did then. But anyway, he's a fun guy, and I know we're going to have a really fun time with him.
So what we're going to do before that, we've got superstar Tyler Main coming on. Let me just do a quick commercial thanking everybody for tuning in. We want to thank everybody. We recently broke 1 billion downloads, and all of you guys that are listening have made that happen. So thank you so much. You can hear us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, Amazon Prime, SoundCloud, and about 150 other platforms, but those are the ones everybody knows about. So we want to thank everyone for their continued support of the show.
And if you hear a murmur, it's not my heart. It's the gardeners. They're mowing the front lawn.
And we're working on...
They're supposed to come Thursday. We told them we'd do a show on Wednesday. Please don't come on Wednesday. Come on Thursday. Do they hear? Do they understand? Maybe I've got to speak Mexican or Spanish to them so they understand. Because I don't think they speak English too well. Thursday.
Now the dogs are barking too. So, all right.
Yeah, I mean, really.
We're going to go ahead and bring on our first guest a little early, you guys, because he's here, and I'm super excited to have him back on the show. He was actually on our show like 12 years ago, and so now we've got him coming back, so hopefully we can hear him and everything is good. So go ahead, Roxy, bring him in. Hey, Tyler, how you doing?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Fantastic. All right. Oh, you don't have headphones on?
It's okay. He doesn't want to hear me.
Oh, he
wants to hear the gardeners.
Oh. Roxy, can you turn? I'll fix your headphones. And I'll turn yours down. That's because he's got that man, that like really like man voice.
I'm just loud, Ron. I'm just loud.
If I can hear him this loud, it must be really loud.
Try say something, Tyler.
I gotta be heard, Ron. I gotta be heard.
Is that better, Ron?
That's much better.
Okay. All right.
Heard but not disturbed. That's a difference.
There we go.
So how have you been in 12 years?
Good. Doing good.
Have you gotten laid in the last 12 years?
I have. I've been married all those years, so yeah.
Oh, so you're married. Oh, I forgot. I thought you were single. So
you didn't actually know him then anyway. We had him on when you weren't on.
Oh, I wasn't on?
No.
How come I know him?
Because you've seen all his shit that he's in.
So that's how come I know you.
Hold on, let me do a proper introduction. All right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, producer, writer, Tyler Main. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me back, guys.
So this is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Yes.
Very cool. Good to meet you, Ron.
Yeah, I've seen your work. You look so familiar to me. I feel like I know. Who does he look like that I know that I got confused?
I don't know.
He looks like somebody we know. But then again, bald guys with beards are all over the place. I mean, where they don't have it on top, they put it on their face.
We're taking over. Yeah, I couldn't grow it on the top of my head anymore, so I had to move it down to my face.
But you know something? It is probably the sexiest thing a man can do today. I interview a lot of girls, and they all say, "Oh, if a guy's got tattoos, a bald head, and a beard, I will ball him." So, if you want to cheat on your wife, there's your ticket.
No, don't tell him that.
No, I'm just telling you, there's his ticket.
I'm sure the girls are throwing themselves at him all the time anyway.
There's your ticket. Just go out and say, "Hey, look, bald guy, beard." Mm.
So I have a question for you just to start this. So first of all, because the last time we had you on, we were just getting started. Nobody really knew who we were, and now kind of like we're kind of well known. And I never knew that you were actually a wrestler before.
Me, stop it. Somewhat well known. We have over 5 million people that come in every week. I would think that's pretty well known, Jimmy.
Okay, I don't want to sound too arrogant, but I never knew you were a wrestler. How tall are you?
6'7", 6'8", somewhere in there. Yeah, but
I knew you had to be big.
When I was wrestling, they listed me as like 7 foot because they lie about all of that stuff. But
so, did you ever get hurt as a wrestler?
Oh yeah, I mean, if I wake up in the morning and something isn't hurting, I'm going to be dead. But,
well, listen.
As a matter of fact, I was living with a lot of pain just recently, and I was medicating with bourbon, as I like to do, because I don't like to take pills, right? And I kept saying to my therapist, I said, I think I should get this checked out, my hips, right? And they go, oh, you got movement there. We can work it out. We'll work it out. I went to a specialist, and the specialist goes, oh, yeah, hey, which one are we going to replace first? Because holy shit. So,
anyway,
just recently during COVID, I've had them both replaced, and I'm doing great now.
Oh, that's funny. I just had an MRI for that.
Hey, listen, you're 6'8".
Yeah.
Are you evenly proportioned in the male department?
Well, I like to think so, I guess.
Well, because I once went out with a guy who was 6'4". And,
what do you?
And
there's me. That other one was my old tag partner.
There he is as a wrestler.
That's Kevin Nash. That's me.
There he is. Okay, that's the right one, Roxy. That's the one there. The other two are like other people that he was partnered with. Yeah. Oh my God, that doesn't look like anything like you now.
Yeah, I told you, man. The hair went away. It went on the face.
I love it.
Well, no, you don't look like you did either, Jimmy. I hate to break the news to you, but your fleeing beauty has fled.
So anyway, we're married, by the way. So if we fight a lot, it's normal. Don't get uncomfortable. So we have a chat room full of people. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, everybody.
And then we have Dawn Hinton, who's a really big horror movie fan, and she's always in our chat room. And so please say hi to Dawn because she'll love it.
Hey, Dawn, how you doing?
There you go. So we recently had James Jude Courtney on, who plays the Shape now. And you are Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloweens. I have a question, because what do you think, first of all, the fact that when you were in it with Rob Zombie, they called you Michael Myers, and now they call whoever plays the role the Shape?
Yeah, I always wanted to be called Michael Myers. I wanted to have him be more than the one-dimensional character and the serial killer that he was recognized for, and that's why I like Rob's version of it, because he showed the background of how he became a product. He was a product of his environment, and how he became the serial killer that he was. So that's what kind of drew me to it, and I really like the fact that he was a product of his environment in Rob's versions.
First of all, Rob's movies are way better than these new ones that have been coming out. I think so, and it's cool because I don't know if you know or not, but Monday Netflix released Rob Zombie's Halloween. Actually on Netflix, it came out on Monday, and I'm a publicist by profession, and Dave Fair, who played Young You in that, is one of my clients, and so it was kind of cool that it came out. So how was that for you, and how did that change everything, the way people look at you in the horror world?
I mean, it was a huge leap into the horror. I did How to Make a Monster for Stan Winston way back in the day, and that was the first thing that I did that was horror. And then when Rob had me audition for Devil's Rejects, I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. And I was on that for 4 days. I replaced the Rufus.
Yes.
And from those 4 days on it, he wrote the Halloween with me in mind, and he called me up and he goes, hey, Tyler, I'm doing this movie and I want you to play Michael Myers. And he explained the backstory and all of that, and I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." So
I love it. So I think that because I'm a big horror movie fan, I have all the movies. I watch all the movies. We've had everybody on the show. I also like the fact that you've expanded out in your career and you're not just a horror guy. I mean, even though you have a lot of horror, I want to talk a little bit about, which we have not seen it. I don't know why we didn't see it, but we're going to see it now that we've had you on the show. But Playing with Fire, because that's a comedy. And actually,
the reason we have not seen it is my nephew wrote it and never invited me to the premiere red carpet. So screw him. I'm not going to watch the film. So Dan, if you're listening in, Dan, screw you. Did you believe the balls on him? My nephew didn't even invite me to the screening or the red carpet.
Yeah, that's boy, did I step into this one.
Well, actually, he's my nephew through marriage. He married my niece, poor girl.
No, I want to give you a props for that, though. So you guys, it's Playing with Fire. It stars, along with Tyler Mane, it's John Cena, Keegan-Michael Key, John Leguizamo, Judy Greer, Dennis Haybert. The two kids are fabulous. I watched the trailer. It's comedy, which is something that's a little bit not really totally something that you've done tons of. So I heard it got great reviews. Tell us a little bit about the difference for you in doing a comedy.
Yeah, I've always wanted to cross over and do comedy and do other genres. I started in action way back in the day. But Playing with Fire is kind of funny how it came about. I actually replaced the original guy that was on there. He just disappeared in the middle of the night, just left. I guess he wasn't happy with it or whatever. And then they called me.
No, he probably met Dan. That's why.
Maybe he met Dan. And so they called me, and Matt Granger, who was on the film, he was actually Keegan-Michael Key's assistant. I'd known Matt from the X-Men days. And he said, well, call Tyler Mane. And I got a call that night, and within about 4 or 6 hours, I was on a plane heading to shoot in
That's
Vancouver
awesome.
and to replace this guy. And I was like, hey, guys, I have no idea what the script is about. They go, don't worry about it. We'll fill you in when you get here. So when I flew in, they took me straight to set, went into hair and makeup, and then went straight on to film the helicopter scene. I was like, guys, what am I doing? Yeah. And then over the time that I was there, I was thinking I was going to be there maybe 3 days because this guy was going to come back. He was on a bender or something.
Bender.
Who knows what I don't know. Maybe he was lonely for his wife. Who knows? And I ended up staying there. I packed for about less than a week, and I was there for just about a month or more filming. And we had to go in and reshoot all the scenes and stuff. So it was kind of nice to get in there and play that.
It was huge too, though, because it's mainstream. I mean, that's like a mainstream. To the world. In the chat room, they said the movie's adorable. And they really enjoyed it, and that's different because you have such a huge horror following, but to go in a superhero following, but to go into the mainstream, for everybody that everybody sees is a really cool thing.
Yeah, it was fun to do that, and I'd done a little bit of comedy in the past, and it's something that I really enjoyed doing. Along with the supervillains and things like that.
Which we'll talk about that also in a minute. Ron, you're just sitting there. Do you want to say something or no?
Not about this movie.
Oh.
The movie I was not invited to see by my nephew. I mean, talk about insulted. You bet your ass I am. I'm furious about it. Of course, I forgot about it. I got over it. Now you just.
And now we just brought back up the bad memories.
You just reopened the wound. I'm surprised that idiot wrote such a good movie. If you knew Dan in person, he's a real geeky kind of guy.
So also, though, you did another comedy because Black Mass 2, City of Mask, that had to be was that a comedy or no?
No, Black Mass 2. Well, that was kind of like an action kind of comedy that we filmed in Thailand.
Okay, there you go. So I'm going to brag a little for you. So you guys,
before you go there, did you have the pleasure of meeting my illustrious nephew?
I believe I did. Yes.
Do you remember what he looks like? No, because nobody does. He's one of those.
Why?
He's one of those insignificant people that you meet several times and you say, "Have I ever met you before?"
Hey, Jimmy, I want to thank you for having me back.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Wait,
brag.
hang on. You know, it's all in fun. I love my nephew.
Oh, I know.
And this is all tease and fun. And Dan is the first one who would laugh at it. So I know what buttons to push. It's
There
just
we
fun.
go.
So you guys, some of the things you've seen Tyler in, he's Sabretooth in X-Men.
All right, I want to say one more thing. I think we were out of town at the time, and I think I was invited, and we were not able to go. So I don't want to make it look like he's a bad guy.
Everybody who tunes in knows that he's joking, but since you're kind of new to the humor, like it's different.
No,
but,
we were in New York. We were in New York at the time. I remember freezing our asses off in May. It was May, I think. Wasn't it around May time?
I don't know when it came out.
No, it was like the premiere. I think was in the summer in New York.
Yeah, it was freezing. I was there.
No, it's not freezing in summer.
It was freezing when I was there.
Oh, we were always cold because we were in May. We were in New York in May, and he was freezing.
End of May, almost beginning of June, I was freezing.
Anyway, so you guys, some of the things you've seen Tyler in: X-Men, Jupiter's Legacy, Joe Dirt, The Scorpion King, Red Serpent, Troy. We did Devil's Rejects, Halloween 1 and 2. Victor Crowley, which, by the way, I love the Victor Crowley movies. And very good friends with Kane and Dave Sheridan and Felissa Rose. They've all been on the show a bunch of times.
Love Dave Sheridan.
Oh, wait, there you go. Look, there's Sabretooth. That's the badassest shit ever.
Wait, let's talk about Dave. I worked with him. He is the most generous, kind, loving actor to work with.
You know Dave Sheridan, right?
He's a true, and he has a wife that has, I believe it's multiple sclerosis or something. She's quite ill. And this man adores her. He waits on her hand and foot and does everything he can for his family, and he works very hard. So I would say bravo to Dave. He's a wonderful human being.
How did you like being in the Victor Crowley movies? Because that Victor Crowley's like the third one or something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Hatchet, because it's Hatchet 1 and 2.
Yeah, like Adam is really good friends with a buddy of mine, Derek Mears. So Adam called Derek and said, "Hey, do you think Tyler would, open up the film for us?" And Derek goes, "Well, call him. I'm not going to tell you he's going to do it or not."
Oh, that's funny because Derek's been on the show too.
Yeah. So Adam called and I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." Before I even knew what I was getting into, but it was like a quick in and out, get killed, and moving on. So it was a lot of fun.
And I love Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder's like the coolest guy like ever. And
yeah, he's a really good dude.
So are you categorized as a stunt guy though? Like, because like Kane is like a stunt guy also. Do you do stunts also?
I do my own fight scenes because of the pro wrestling. I wrestled, like you say, for 11 and a half years professionally. So that is something I know how to do. I draw the line at falling off of buildings and getting lit on fire.
Okay, that's good.
Now, I remember years ago, Gorgeous George. Remember Gorgeous George? No, you
Yes.
don't. You do. Yeah. Wrestling in those days was fake, phony, and all orchestrated and all done with choreography. And I believe it's the same way now. But tell me something. When you hit each other with the folding chairs, does it really hurt?
Yes.
So why do you hit each other?
That is something you cannot fake.
No, I realize that. I think the only thing about wrestling that may be authentic is when you get hit in the head with a folding chair and I hear the chair cracking.
Yeah, that and there are things that happen. You're trusting your partner in there. It's kind of like doing a little dance, and accidents do happen. Like I say, if I wake up in the morning and something isn't hurting, I'm going to be dead. But it takes its toll on the body. You're throwing.
Wait a second. If I were wrestling with you, I'd be so afraid you'd pick me up and throw me into the audience because you have that 6'8". You're gigantic. You could pick me up in a minute and fling me like a toy right at the audience.
Yeah, that would probably happen.
Did you ever do that? You're never coming back on this show. No, wait a minute. Did you ever?
You'd be back in the body cast.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Did you ever, Tyler? Did you really ever throw a person that fell in the audience accidentally?
Well, no, not accidentally. I mean, you take care of your partner. You want to make sure.
So you have thrown him. I've seen.
You're trying not to hurt them. You're trying to make it look as real as possible, and put on as good a show as possible without getting hurt. Because you realize you're there to feed your family, and so are they.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
a
doing
game.
it, 6-7 times a week sometimes.
But have
When
you
I was- when I
the
was in the
question?
thick of it-
The question was, have you accidentally ever thrown an opponent into the audience? Because I've seen it done
well, not accidentally.
intentionally. So how does it work
Yes.
where he doesn't hurt the people that he falls on top of?
Well, it's a lot of times it's staged, or
Oh, those people in the
they're
front
going
know
into,
it's coming.
They're going into areas where they know the people, or that
Right.
they're familiar with. Yeah.
So the people know that a person will be thrown at them and they know how to protect themselves.
Or sometimes it's just somebody's coming at them, and you wish for the best.
Right. Instinctively.
Like when they do the thing where they.
Final question, and you can have the floor. Do you miss wrestling?
There's probably, like, when I start watching it, I'll miss it for about half a second, and then when I realize, it's 23 hours and 50 minutes of total boredom. You've got 10 minutes of excitement when you walk through that curtain. When you come back through that curtain, you're alone. You're driving around in rental cars, trying to find your next meal, trying to find a gym to work out in, trying to find your hotel, and then you're back to the airport to try and fly out for the next show. So it's not what people think it is. It can be a very lonely life. You get to know the boys quite well.
Not all glitz and glamour, huh?
No.
I love that. So when people do the thing, like a lot of times you see the wrestlers and the guys like running at them and they stick their arm up and they hit the thing and then they fall down. Like, so they're really hitting it, right? They just know how to hit it to hurt the least.
Oh yeah. You're making contact. It is theatered around, and you're making contact, and you know how to take the bumps, and you know how to react to them. And if you've been in the ring long enough with a guy, you know how he's going to react and what he's going to be doing, and you're in there calling matches, and you're calling spots, and you're taking care of each other, and hopefully putting on one hell of a show.
Did you ever consider doing kickboxing?
I did martial arts. Yeah, I did martial arts for like 9 years.
How long
back
is
in Canada?
How long would your leg be if you're 6'8"? You'd have a long leg.
Yeah, it was 36, 37-inch inseam.
So then kicking a opponent, you would definitely keep him at distance.
Right. I would have no problem keeping you away.
Yeah, so he couldn't possibly punch you in the face.
Well, it depends if he's sneaking, can slip the kick, and whatever they do. It's the sports are the MMA and the kickboxing is becoming very technical nowadays.
Well, I watch kickboxing, and if they didn't bleed, I think it was phony, but they bleed.
Yes.
I mean, I like kickboxing because, first of all, it's European, and my father was a kickboxer, not by profession, but by being an Italian from Italy. In Italy, you're trained to do kickboxing. That's how the Italians fight. In America, we'd say, "Oh, you kicked me, you're a coward. Only cowards kick." But not in Europe, as you know, that's part of the sport. Right. So my father taught me how to kick people when I fight with them. And I kick the shit out of Jimmy all the time. I kick him all over the house from room to room. He just rolls like a teddy bear. And then I kick him again and he rolls and I keep kicking him.
Did you have to go to like I'm going to be a wrestler camp or whatever, like school or something to learn how to do all of that? I know they show that now.
I originally started in the dungeon in Calgary with Stu Hart. Trained with him for a little while, and then Red Bastien came through for the WWF at the time. I was in Canada. I'm from Canada, from Saskatchewan, and then I went from Calgary to Los Angeles and trained with Mondo Guerrero, the famous Guerrero family, and Red Bastien, and that's where I got my training for pro wrestling.
I wonder if you know our good friend Jason. Jason's a bodybuilder, a health freak, and he's written this wonderful book about children that everybody should look
Jason
into.
Finney, but Jason's not a wrestler though. He's a bodybuilder.
No, Jason wrestled.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Jason wrestled in his youth.
He's also from Canada. Jason Finney, he's an actor, but he's a stuntman.
But he's from East Canada, Eastern Canada, East side. And he's about your age, and he's like, he's been in many movies. You must know him. You have to know him if you see him. He's like monster, good looking and huge.
He's not big like you.
Also, no, he is big. No, not tall, but big.
Oh, yeah, he's muscular.
And he's also bald. And the women, no, really, women.
That must be a Canadian thing.
No, wait a minute, Tyler. The women, we go to affairs with him, all right? The women just throw themselves at him. So I think I'm going to shave my hair off.
Yeah,
There you
grow
go.
a beard. I like
Can
love
you
it.
grow a beard? That's the question.
No, I grew a beard. I look like an outpatient from a nursing home. I look like an escapee, like an old man, that didn't shave for a couple of days with his hair wild.
He has to look like this because he's got that whole Tony Curtis thing, and he's older than he looks.
Stop. He always loves this. Fuck loves to do this.
No, he's 81 and a half. He still works. He's
And
shooting
meanwhile,
movies all the
yeah,
time.
And you married me, and you're still jealous because guys hit on me. At
And girls
81.
hit on him too. Everywhere we go.
What? This guy's going to be in love with me after the show too. What? She's going to send me candy and flowers. I mean, go fuck yourself, Jimmy.
So
Fuck
you guys, one of the movies Tyler was in was Troy.
Tyler.
Troy with Brad Pitt, Sean Bean, Brian Cox, Diane Kruger, Eric Bana, Orlando Bloom, Peter O'Toole. How was that? Because that's also something different.
Yeah, that was a fantastic experience. We shot 3 months in Malta and 3 months in Cabo.
Oh, I feel bad for you. 3 months in.
I know.
Oh, I really hate your fucking
Business
guts.
is so rough.
Get off our show, you prick. Get off our show. I hate your guts. How was Malta? It had to be fabulous.
Malta, I love Malta.
I do
It
too.
was just so fantastic. That island is.
Yes,
the
I'm part Maltese. In my family, hereditary, we have genes that come from Malta. So I'm part Maltese. I'm fascinating. A little island. Incredible people.
The history there is just fantastic. I mean, when I wasn't shooting, I'd be going around touring the island and seeing things, and it was just amazing. But yeah, I was there for 3 months and shooting the interiors and stuff like that, and preparing for the fight in front of the gates of Troy at Cabo with Eric Bana. So
that's fabulous. I love that.
So wait a minute. Question: how is it working with Angie's ex-husband? Angelina Jolie.
Fantastic guy. He really, really nice guy.
Too bad he wasn't a fantastic husband.
He likes Angelina Jolie.
Because I know Angie since kindergarten. She grew up in my house with my daughter. They're best friends. They were children, best friends. We lived in Beverly Hills. She lived on Roxbury. We lived on Spalding. I used to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for Angie. So I know Angie. She's a little weird, but she's all heart. And she's a good girl. She's too much heart. She puts her heart out there and people step on it. So, but I don't know about Brad. I've never met Brad.
Actually, everybody that we know said he's fabulous.
Yeah,
though.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. They just didn't click. Well, she's a little nuts. He's a little nuts.
Sometimes that happens. You never know.
Yeah, two nuts don't make it. Like Jimmy's a nut. I'm saying. So therefore we make it. Why would nuts like him? Watch it, or this microphone goes down your throat.
In the chat room, they want to know what. So you're in Atlanta. Do you live in Atlanta?
Love it.
Yeah, we shot the second Halloween here. So and my wrestling career for the WCW is here. I'm about a mile and a half from the Pinewood Studios, the Trellis Studios right now, and I just love it here. I bought the house in 2015. We filmed 2016. We used part of the basement of this house for Penance Lane, and then I switched it over and made it into my little getaway. And right before the pandemic, I convinced the wife to move here full time, and it's been the best thing we've ever done.
I love Atlanta. I love it. I love the little city. And of course, I love where my friends live. They live in that wonderful town called, I forgot.
Savannah.
No.
Oh.
In
Buckhead.
Buckhead,
yeah.
Yeah, Irene Gilder lives in Buckhead, friends of mine, and they love Buckhead. Gorgeous house there. I think Atlanta, except it's a little humid. It's like New York weather, but that's good. You could deal with it. New York summer.
It can be. It's not that bad.
We're going to be filming there soon. I'm in a movie in Atlanta coming up.
Actually,
I play one of the handsomest, most wonderful people in the world.
Yeah.
And they casted me because they said we could only think of you, Ron, no one else for the part.
Yeah. Anyway, let me go back to that. So
seriously, what movie? Give it a plug. What movie are we filming?
Well, right now we're filming it's a movie called Get Her, but I have I'm working with Destiny Worldwide Productions, and so we've got like 9 films that are shooting in Atlanta. We just finished a pilot last week on Sunday. Do you know Alessandro Fulcito?
We'll have lunch.
Hang on, wait, I'm finished.
When we come to Atlanta, we'll have lunch with you.
Do you know Alessandro Do you know Alessandro Fulcito?
I do not.
Okay, he's a stunt guy. He's like in all the Marvel movies and a whole lot of stuff. And we did a pilot where he's playing the lead role, and We just literally finished it. We don't even have the trailer yet. But I didn't know you were in Atlanta. Atlanta's a great place to be because the tax incentives are great. A lot of the movies I'm working on are there.
I'm in a movie in Atlanta with Charlize Theron, and I have to be naked, and she's naked, and I have to make love to her. And I find that a lot of work. Gee whiz, who wants to do it? I mean, you wouldn't want my part, would you? I'd gladly give you my part if you want it.
Yeah.
Well, I usually don't get those kind of roles. Like, look at me, I mean,
I'm just.
You could though.
Well, wait a minute. I'm making believe it's not true, but this guy's a coward because he's afraid his wife was going to say something. He never said back to me like, "You bet I would love to make love to Charlie."
It's just a movie.
So he's pussy whip, pussy whip, pussy whip, pussy whip.
Actually, in the chat room, they said they love Penance Lane, so let's give it a plug. Penance Lane, you guys stars Tyler, Scout, Taylor Compton, John Schneider, who's been on the show, Diamond Dallas Page, Daniel Roebuck, and a bunch of people. And so you wrote that then, right? I think you wrote that one.
Well, my wife did the rewrites on it, yeah, and I helped her with that. But and she's also in the movie. She plays Precious in the movie.
How many years you married?
Oh gosh.
You're in trouble now.
think
Charlize Theron and this.
11 or 12.
You're
11 or 12.
You're fucked, boy. You really are fucked. She's gonna kick your ass when you go home.
Who is?
Your wife, if you don't know how many years you've been married.
And the joke,
well, I mean, we've been together since 2000. We got married in 2007. Actually, the weekend that the Halloween came out. So.
What?
That's cool.
What
I
a
guess
time to get married.
I didn't know that you were Jason.
I wasn't Jason.
No, he's Michael Myers.
I mean, Michael. I hate those two anyway. They look like brothers. They get me confused. But who's the guy that came out through the bed and stabbed?
That's Freddy Krueger.
Oh, well, another fucking idiot. Anyway, all these horrible people and these horrible. I make horror movies, I'm in 6 of them and I hate them all. I think they're bad for kids to watch. All the blood and guts and savagery. But
it's made for a little older demographic.
Yes.
No, I like Halloween films well. And I love Halloween to begin with. And I love the children in costumes. And I just saw the original the first time a couple of months ago.
Yeah, he doesn't watch horror movies.
With Jamie Curtis.
Before he met me, he didn't ever watch horror movies.
I gotta tell you, it was really nice. It was really done well. The Halloween movies are good movies. I have to say, they're not like some of these cheesy shit things I'm in. These $2 movies they make in the garage.
Yeah, they're not cheesy, but they will scare the hell out of you. Jim,
oh no, his are cheesy.
Mine.
Yes, I'm going to show him yours. Now it's on Netflix, so I'm going to show him yours.
Yeah, no, mine.
Oh yeah, there you go.
My movies are just blood, guts, eyeballs falling off, arms falling off, guts popping.
But yours
out.
don't really have a story. His has a story.
But I tell them I don't die in a movie, and you're not making me gutsy. I refuse to scare children. I'm funny that way. So I usually play a doctor, a scientist, a mafia, always a character in the movie. But my question, I'm working my way up to the question is, do you ever feel guilty about anything that you do that might upset children?
Well, first of all, children should not be watching the films.
I agree with you. Smart man, smart.
Because of the rating, and some, it's funny because, I'll run into some parents that they go, oh yeah, my kids love it. And you'll talk to the kids and they'll be like, oh yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. So, it's funny. They'll cover their eyes for the nudity, but they won't for the blood and guts,
Thank you so much. You're a very wise man. You have children. You have children, of course.
Well, they're grown adults now, but yeah.
Well, I have children. One's 54 and one's 48.
Yeah, well, I'm 25 and 27. So.
Oh, okay.
So my eldest daughter is still my girl. What are you kidding?
That's true. They're still your babies, right?
Did your children follow you into the movie industry?
I referred to my daughter Leslie one time as my child, and they said, "How old is she?" And I said, 52 at the time. They said, "What? That's a child. That's a woman." I said, "No, still my child." Maybe a woman to you, but to me, it's my child.
Did your children follow you into the entertainment?
Well, my daughter tried pro wrestling for a while. She really enjoyed it, but then she got hurt, tore her ACL, so she was out for a while, and she hasn't gone back.
Good for her.
And my son, we had in compound fracture, we had him doing some stunt work for us in that, and he just loved it. And so, he does some stand-in stuff now and then and stuff like that. So he's trying to figure out what he wants to do.
Absolutely.
Did your boy take after you? Is he 6'7", 8, 9, or whatever?
He's about 6'4", 6'4",
Okay, so-
yeah.
So
How old is he?
25.
Oh, then he stopped growing. He'll stay that height.
Yeah.
So what do you?
Wait. Leading. See, Jimmy, I lead questions in. I'm not an interviewer that just asks a stupid question.
I know, but I'm not asking stupid questions.
Listen, don't start. See these two fingers? See these two fingers right in your eyes? You'll never see tomorrow. Anyway, now you made me forget the question, you maricon bastard.
So I want to know then,
Oh.
what do you think? Because I it's my personal opinion that the Rob Zombie movies are like the best ones. Maybe I just like them a lot. I mean, I like the originals. What do you think of the newer versions, Halloween Kills, and I don't know, they're filming the end one now compared to the ones you were in? Like, did you like them?
The new ones did not get the reviews except for the last.
But they did a
one.
lot of money at the box
No,
office.
but the last one they gave Jamie Curtis the most outrageous reviews, and I thought,
Wait, I want to ask him. What did you like them? I mean,
To tell you the truth, I have not seen them.
Okay.
I saw the first one briefly, parts of it, but then I haven't seen them fully through, so I can't comment on them.
Okay, I just thought really the writing wasn't as good. I just thought personally the writing wasn't as good. I should say personally myself.
Well,
what
yeah,
about James Jude Courtney?
Yeah, well, they weren't as good as ours, so.
Yes, you're right.
do you agree with me that film writers and filming is getting a little too politically correct and a little too many messages are being sent, not enough story? I feel that way. Years ago, we wrote about characters. Characters didn't necessarily have to be ethnic. Today, you must put a certain amount of ethnicity in a film, and that is, and it doesn't really work sometimes with the characters.
He's talking because we hated Sex in the City.
No, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work with the characterization.
Wow.
In other words,
He probably doesn't watch Sex in the City,
if
though.
if they had to put an Italian in the movie and they chose me to play a Swede, it would be miscasted.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about certain movies today. The casting is political. Well, Hollywood has got to put X amount of Black, Asian, Hispanic, and whatever people in a film. Yes, they should be in a film, but rightfully where they belong in the film, not necessarily incorrectly. There's a film that we're watching right now that portrays a Black woman in 1870 walking down the street with white people and chatting with them like they're her best friend. That's overlooking the fact that back then they were still slaves, and that was not so. So if you're going to do a historical bit, do it correctly because it's misinformation. That's my political stance. Hollywood, right authentic. This television series takes place during the Civil War.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had the horrific stupidity of the white people doing this to the Black people, but don't make it history where it's not.
He also hated that. I don't know if you saw about 2 years ago on Netflix, there was like that Hollywood TV series where it talked about do you know about the gas station and they had like all the call boys and call girls and everybody had sex. So we watched that whole mini series that they did. And who was it? And Ron had a heart attack
because they showed Rock Hudson.
Oh yeah, Rock Hudson with his boyfriend on the red carpet.
Rock Hudson with his black lover going to the Academy Awards
and coming out gay,
saying he's gay. I knew Rock Hudson. I knew Rock Hudson's lover. He was a blonde boy that Rock was with for years and years and years. Okay, Rock never came out. Rock died mortified because people found out he was gay. I did McMillan and Wife with Rock Hudson, and I remember that there was a line he didn't care for, and he told the script girl, "Could we turn that around a little bit? It's a little bit too effeminate." And I thought to myself, wow, this old queen, she really hides her gayness. And Rock Hudson did. He fought never to be gay, or the audience would. He wanted to die without them knowing. And they went ahead and did this. And I found that was Hollywood at its worst. Do not do anything about dead people when they cannot come back and set the record straight.
Right.
I think it was terrible.
I agree with you on that. Yes.
I mean, God forbid years to come when you die, if they say that you were making love to me in Macy's window, you don't want that to be, do you? You don't want that kind of reputation. So right is write the truth or don't write at all.
I think Or if it's fantasy, make sure everybody knows it's fantasy. But don't write fantasy about real people.
I mean, I knew Betty Davis, and I read the books her daughter wrote. Yeah, partially I understand. Betty was very domineering. Betty was a control freak over her daughter. Betty wanted her daughter to be a lady, a debutante, a sophisticate, and the kid was kind of like the opposite. So Betty had a lot of issues with that. Jane Russell, my best and dearest friend, my sister, has children, 3, who said, we never wanted a Hollywood movie star for a mother. We wanted a mother.
Right.
And unfortunately, Jane was not a mother. She had an alcoholic problem. She was a lush for all her life. And until 80 years old, she sobered. And her children resent her. So where the fuck am I going with this whole
I don't
thing?
know.
You got to admit, you've got some great stories. So
I have
absolutely.
wonderful
carry
stories.
on.
But I hope the listeners out there learn from these stories. Please do not believe the media. Do not believe the press. I'm media. I'm PR. I'm not PR. I'm an interviewer. I set the record straight. I try to get the real truth out
He
of
had a
it.
TV show called Set the Record
but do
Straight.
do not believe, or everything you see is not factual. So don't think for 1 minute that horrible movie, the way they listen. I knew a lot of the movie stars. I'm 81, of course. I've been around since dirt, so I know all the movie stars they had in that movie, and they did not portray one of them correctly.
Yeah,
They made it sensationalism. They made them all out to be freak of natures. It was hideous. It was just not necessary. That's why I will write a book.
That you gotta look at the producers and question them on that, and then there's decisions for making the choices that they did. But I fully agree with you. Like with the internet nowadays, anybody can get on there and say anything they want, and probably
it's lies.
Yeah,
about Rock Hudson.
Bullshit.
I sat in a gay bar in West Hollywood having a drink with Rock Hudson. It was called the Rose Tattoo Gay Bar. And Rock and I never discussed his being gay. And the two of us are sitting in a gay bar together drinking. And I never said to him, well, how long have you been out, or are you a girl? I never. You somehow, when it came to him, you just did not discuss it. It was taboo to everybody. Mind your fucking business was his attitude.
All right, so next up, I'm moving on. In the chat room, first of all, they want to know what's your latest project. So what do you got coming up? What do you got that you're working on?
Yeah, through Main Entertainment, I optioned a book called The Last Spartan by John Saunders that we are turning into a graphic novel.
Wait. I have to interrupt you. The title again, slowly and clearly.
The Last Spartan.
The Last Spartan.
Oh, I thought he said the last fart.
No.
No,
The Last Spartan.
I think you've got to turn those
Headphones back up.
That's what I was going to say. What a hell of a title for
The Last
book.
Spartan. Okay. And
Yes,
you're turning it into a graphic novel?
Yeah, we're turning it into a graphic novel because my wife was the editor-in-chief of Top Cow Comic Books for many years.
Oh, wow, cool.
She was at Radical and a bunch of them. And we figured that was a great way to take the next step to give proof of concept for a
movie
TV series
TV series. Okay.
Sounds
it's
good.
Imagine you have Sons of Anarchy, The Punisher meets human trafficking. So it's going to be a very intense project. We've got Christopher Priest, who wrote the Black Panthers and some of the Punishers, is writing it, has written it, and then now we're writing the design phases for the art and all of that. So we're looking at releasing that or having a Kickstarter or a funding page set up by next October, this October coming up. If people want to follow it, please go to mainentertainment.com and sign up for the newsletters there. It's at the beginning stages. And then you can be a part of it and see. And the artwork that we're getting in is just fantastic.
Cool.
Now, that's a subject matter I'm totally supporting. I think your movie might do something for this problem that we have right now with human trafficking.
Yeah, it is a big, with getting into this project and talking to people about it. It's a horrific problem that needs to be stopped.
Well, I'm in a movie about human trafficking. I don't think we can discuss it.
Yeah, we can. That's the pilot we just did.
The
We just
pilot-
did a pilot
yeah.
about human trafficking. I have two movies I'm working on.
I play a cop detective thing, and I was so happy to be in this film because this film that we're going to do is going to support, or let's put it this way, it's going to make awareness to the public how human trafficking is not a joke. It's not a movie. It's a reality. People are being kidnapped and used for prostitution. Does your film deal with that?
Yes, it
Bravo.
deals with that, and I'm wanting to team up with organizations to help bring the awareness even more clearly to the public. But it isn't even just for sex trafficking. They're trafficking for labor. There's trafficking for all kinds of things like that people just don't understand, and it just talking with people about it. I talked to two ladies. One was a therapist that was dealing with the victims and helping them get back on their life path. It's devastating to these people what has happened to them, and the shell of a person that they're turned into through these complete asses that deal with it.
Well, in our country, they invite people to come into our country without any reason of how they're going to deal with them. There's no work, there's no place to live, there's no food. So you're really bringing people in here to be slaves, or what is it? And then they become trafficking. I know that on Long Island, a lot of the contractors, big men, that build homes, go to a certain street because at 5 a.m, there's like 50 Mexicans there waiting to work for nothing. And they pick up these poor individuals and make them work all day long and pay them nothing. This is horrific. This has got to stop. This has got to stop.
Yeah.
Actually, both of my films, because I have two of them that we're doing, and we've teamed up with some human trafficking organizations for the promotional parts.
And I'm fighting for them.
And,
I'm right there with you.
And I think you're gonna. Yeah, I think you'll be very successful with it. And the fact that you've got a comic book, to go with it will help a lot, because everybody loves everything based on a comic book. And what a great way to actually visualize it, of what everything's supposed to look like. So kudos on that. I also saw on your Instagram, which you can follow Tyler in social media. His Twitter is @Tyler_Maine, and his Instagram is The Real Tyler Maine, and that you're going to be someplace this weekend signing autographs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the Atlanta Days of the Dead for a couple of days. Then I fly out to, I believe it's New Jersey.
Yeah, I think it was New Jersey.
Yeah, I think it's New Jersey I'm going into. So, and it's just great to get out and meet the fans and talk to them about that. But then it's also bringing this awareness of serious problem. I love talking to people about this human trafficking problem, but I also deal with rescue dogs, and
I love you. Can I marry you? Get rid of your wife. I'll marry you. We don't have to have.
Look, we have 3 rescue dogs.
We don't have to.
Yeah, we have 3 rescue dogs and a rescue cat.
Look,
yeah.
Look, this is my.
This is
7
Astro.
pound.
He's 7 pounds, and then we have Brandy, who's like a 35-pound. What is she?
She's a terrier.
Like a terrier sheepdog mix.
And then Shazam, who's a
Brazilian Mastiff.
Fila Mastiff.
It's like 130 pounds.
And I'm always telling every week, please, everybody out there, if you're lonely, get a pet. You'll never be lonely
and rescue
again.
and rescue a pet.
Rescue. Don't get a baby. Don't get a baby mill. We have to stop the baby mills.
Puppy mill.
Yeah.
Puppy mills, not baby. God forbid. Puppy mills.
That's a whole different topic right there.
I called little dogs babies. So
yeah.
He's my baby. He's my baby.
He goes everywhere. We take him everywhere.
He's my son, my little baby. But yes.
Yeah, the one that we work with here is Plaza Atlanta. We've got 2 of our rescues from there. It's a kitten and a puppy, and they were nurse fed together because they were both, abandoned. Their mothers didn't make it, and so they kind of became bottle mates. And we have them both. And they said that it's Tea and Biscuit. So,
that's so cute.
Yeah, and Biscuit's the dog. They said, she won't get over 40 pounds. Well, she's already at 75. So they pulled a little bait and switch. But we had a Mastiff before, so we're good with the big dog.
And what are the other 2 dogs? What kind of the other 2?
Hang on. Quiet. I have to say something very nice. Tyler, indeed, it's a pleasure to know you.
Very good to meet you
I'm
too.
very, very honored and happy to know you because you're on the right road for everything that's right.
Yes, I'm
My-
trying. I mean, that's
My hat's off to you. You come back here anytime you like. You're so welcome.
Thank you.
So what are your dogs? So what kind of dogs do you have?
Well, we got Biscuit, who's a mix between working dog and part Doberman, part crazy.
Ours too.
And then we got our English American Stafford. That is Sprocket, that I named after Fraggle Rock. The Sprocket on Fraggle
Yes.
Rock, because
Yes.
that shows the kid. And then we have PG Tips, who's our kitten. That's a year old. Name is the other one. And we have a Bichon, that is my wife's little one. That's where she's in her last days, but my wife's taking care of her, and yeah. So but we gave her a great life. My wife found one of our dogs that had passed a while ago on the 101 freeway. When we were in LA, she just stopped traffic. I'm like, are you trying to get yourself killed? But brought this dog home, nursed it back to life. And we had her, Abby, for, I think 5 years, 6 years. Yeah.
Well, that's another
Beautiful.
thing I want to say.
Giving them a good life.
When you adopt a dog, rescue a dog, don't just rescue the puppy young ones. There are older dogs out there who are wonderful. Give them the end of their life a wonderful life because they've had a hard life. Sure.
Yeah.
People abuse them. Our Brazilian Mastiff has scars on him, which means he was a fighter dog. We got him in Florida. We got him in Florida. He came from Miami, and down in Miami,
they said he was either a fighter dog or a drug, protecting the drug people.
Or both.
Yeah.
So he's come to us with some problems, and we've had him now many years, and he's better. The only thing is he likes to chew and eat everything, and since he's so tall, he can get anything up high up.
He can stand 6 feet tall.
Jimmy was given wonderful cardboard vodka bottles, which supposedly they said if you drink the vodka you get horny, which is a joke. And we came home, and the bottles were eaten into, and Shazam, the big guy, drank the vodka. Well, there's nothing funnier than a 135-pound dog wobbling and looking at you with half-mast eyes, stoned out of his bird. He had such a good time on that vodka.
He can get everything now, even on top of the refrigerator. He can stand up and get it.
Oh, please, the editor.
Oh yeah, and ours work is teamwork. The one will take stuff off. The cat will take something off the counter and give it to the other dogs, and
yeah, ours does that too. And then they scatter it all over the house.
Everywhere.
See, so he has that problem too. He thinks it's just our dogs.
No, I was
no.
I was defrosting a small what do you call it, roast beef, and I had it on the center island. And I went to do something, and I came back. Well, there went the roast beef, and Shazam just looked at me with that look. You know how they give you that guilty look? Like, I didn't do it. The 7-pound ate the whole roast beef.
So that's fabulous though. So you guys follow Tyler Main on Instagram and Twitter. I want to talk briefly about X-Men because I'm a super big. So I collect action figures, and I basically collect action figures of superheroes and horror movie stuff. And most of my stuff is signed, and I have a huge collection of stuff. And X-Men is my favorite of all the superhero franchises. Actually, I like the early X-Men movies with Halle Berry and you and all those people. I like better than the newer stuff that they did. But tell us just a little bit about that, because to me, that's like the dopest thing ever. That you're like Sabretooth.
Yeah, it was just a fantastic opportunity. They were actually talking to Kevin Nash, who was my tag partner way back in the day, about the Sabretooth role. But for some reason, something happened, and of course, I had the long hair and all of that, and they said, hey, we want to talk to you about playing the role. So immediately I went out and did my research and ran to the comic shop and was like, I need to get his X-Men comic books and stuff. And I was going in to meet Bryan Singer, and I really wanted this role. So I went down to, I think it's the beauty supply shop, and I got the fake teeth and all of that, and went into his office. Yeah, there we go. And it was funny because I walk in there and Brian was sitting on the side of the couch typing and didn't even look up. I said, I'm here to see Bryan Singer. And he puts his hand up and he's like, just a minute, because he was typing, probably writing on the script or something. I was like, what the hell's going on? And he looks up and he goes, I'm Bryan Singer. And he goes, and you are Sabretooth. He jumped onto the glass table and he's like, choke me. So my whole audition was like, and he's like, you're Sabretooth. So it was just fantastic how that kind of worked out.
Do you have a Sabretooth? Is there a Sabretooth action figure based on you?
Yeah. There's quite a few things. The dolls that talk, that are actually my voice doing the and then the 18-inch ones, and then the snow stuff, and of course, you don't see any checks from any of that stuff anymore.
That's okay, but I'm gonna so I collect action figures, and after somebody's been on the show, if they have an action figure, I immediately go looking for it on eBay or wherever I can find it. So I'll go find it. I can add it to my collection.
I have a few different action figures. I've got the Michael Myers, the X-Men.
I already have all the Michael Myers. I have a bunch
there
of
you
those.
go.
I have those.
Yeah. There you go. There it is, right
there.
there
We go. All right. Yeah, I'm totally gonna go get that. All right.
And we have it.
That's not the 18-inch though. I want the 18-inch. There's an 18-inch one.
Yeah, I believe there is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's the hard one to find.
We have dolls also. Jimmy and I sitting on a park bench in thongs.
Somebody made it for us and
I'm
sent
not
it
kidding.
to us.
It's beautiful. They look just like us. How they do that? It's amazing. And we didn't sit for it. They did it from a photograph. So it's kind of rewarding. It's a nice feeling to know that somebody made a doll of you.
Yeah. Even when I was wrestling in Mexico, I was wrestling as Nitron for the CMLL, and they have one action figure is all of them. They just put different things on. So they put a blonde piece of carpet on the top of my head and in my face like I had it. They go, that's my action figure. So it's kind of funny. So
they put a rug on your head. I love it.
And the last thing, then, let's talk about Jupiter's Legacy, because I didn't watch it yet because I wasn't sure if I would like it or not. But now that I know you're in a bunch of episodes, I'm going to go watch it. Did you enjoy it? And tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, man, I loved playing Black Star. It was right up my alley. He's a cocky, intelligent doctor that has a mean streak in him. But I think you'd get a kick out of it. You got to take and watch it and let me know what you think of it.
I will. I'm going to watch it.
That was one of my favorite characters to date to play. And it's just, we did 8 episodes. I was in 4 or 5 of them as Black Star. And the story was fantastic. And I was just really honored to be a part of it.
I know. I love it. And it's superheroes. It's like superhero stuff. So I love. Do you have an action figure for him?
I don't know if they've put anything out like that.
Do you have a Funko? Do you have a Funko Pop?
Well, I've seen that they've got the Sabretooth Funko Pops. They've got the Michael Myers Funko Pops, but those are the ones that I've seen. None specifically of me.
Right, of you, just of like actual. Right. Okay, no,
I
want the ones that are you.
So to speak.
I want the ones that are you. And do you know James Jude Courtney?
I do. He's a great guy.
Great guy. We had so much fun with him on the show. There you are.
Star right there. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's scary.
You really change faces easily.
Yeah,
you jump characters well.
I had a little bit of help from some prosthetics there.
Yeah.
But some people you could still see something in it, but you really disappear.
Yeah, that was the best suit that I've worn in prosthetics. It was by K&B, and I mean, I was a little concerned when I was first putting it on, but once I got it on and all it was 8 different pieces that they glued to my face. So if I wink, you could see me wink. I mean, you could pick up all my facial expressions, and it was just wearing that outfit was a pleasure. It was extremely hot
and itchy. Ooh.
Yeah, and because I had to have a cooling suit in that, because it was just everything is covered except for your lips, so they had to keep us cool, keep me cool.
Yeah.
All right, so then my going out questions. I like to ask this to all the actors. Bucket list: male and female actor you have not had an opportunity to work with that you think you would like to work with. Number one, and number two, if you could have ever been in any movie ever made in history, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Oh wow. Okay, I would love to work with some of those older action guys that I grew up watching that kind of drew me to the business. Like a Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
Stallone, people like that. Just to say I did it.
Yes.
I would love to get into some more of the acting chop stuff with some of these newer guys and doing stuff like that.
They should put you in the Expendables. You would fit in that group of people.
Yeah, hey, shoot that out there into the universe.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
It's
out there because everybody will hear it. Hey, everybody, let's get Tyler Mane in the Expendables with everybody. Okay, what about a female actress?
Oh, wow.
Don't say Charlize Theron. Your wife will divorce you.
There's this lady, Charlize Theron, that I would love to work with her.
I love her.
Jimmy and I are great fans of hers. We think she's the most beautiful woman. I mean, she's beyond beautiful.
She's fantastic. There's so many.
And she's a great actress.
Well, Angelina Jolie is beyond beautiful also.
Yeah, he's a big one. Yeah, we like her too.
In person, I saw Angie not too long ago as an adult, and she's magnificent as a woman. Beautiful girl. And everything on her is real, folks. I keep saying it. Her boobs, her lips, everything. There's nothing artificial on Angie. What you see is true, because she was like that as a child. Built like a brick shit house at age 10, 11, 12. The lips were her. She was a beautiful child.
Okay, so a movie that you would like to be in. What's a movie that you think, oh my God, I would have loved it if I would have had an opportunity to be in this movie?
Oh, I would have loved to done something with like a Boris Karloff or something like that.
Yes.
Back in the day, I actually have a comic book of his, one of the first comic books that I've ever gotten is one of his, and that's one of the things that drew me into the comic book world too. Just seeing those things. But back in the day, the comic strips, that you get in the newspaper were fantastic to watch and look through too.
Were you a horror movie fan like as a child?
No, I was more into the action stuff, because I was doing martial arts and I was into the action stuff. But, growing up in Canada, I was, this tall, skinny kid, glasses, braces, slightly dyslexic. And at 10 years old, I was a paper boy. So what I would do is I would tear the papers apart and look for the comic strips back in the day, because I didn't like reading, but I liked seeing the story through the artwork.
And look at now you're doing a comic book, and now you're doing a graphic novel. So listen, it's coming full circle.
Did you get to go to your prom being tall, skinny, and four-eyed?
Yes.
Oh, I bet you got the best girl in town to go to the prom with you, right?
Well, I did, because I shed the braces, I shed the glasses, I got contacts, and I was kind of filling out a bit then, and I've done okay.
Last question. As a wrestler, did people want to fuck with you, because they think that because you're such a big guy, when you're out at a restaurant or something, do people just come up to you and be think that you're how people always try and start fights with the big guy?
No,
did that happen to you?
No, I don't have that energy.
Good.
I try to get along with everybody and just enjoy it,
And you're intimidating.
Well, I'm 6 foot, so he's 8 inches taller than I am. That's quite a bit bigger.
He's a big dude.
Yeah. Well, back in the day when I was wrestling, I was 348 pounds too. So.
Oh, so you were big mama.
I was pretty big.
Chubby,
love it. Chubby. All right, you guys. So this is Tyler Mane. Please support all that he does. His Instagram is The Real Tyler Mane. His Twitter is Tyler_Mane. We want to thank you for coming on the show. You're fabulous. Congratulations on a wonderful career. Best of luck with the graphic novel and the TV series. And if there's anything we can do to help, please let us know.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Send everybody to sign up for those newsletters.
ManeEntertainment.com, you guys. MANE Entertainment.com.
Tyler, it was a great visit with you. I enjoyed it.
It was an honor meeting you, sir.
We got to do it again.
I will see you down the road.
All righty. Bye-bye, Tyler. Thank you.
Tyler.
Yay.
See you guys.
Bye. Nice guy. Really a nice fella.
So, you guys, I got a message from our next guest. I don't know what it says. I got to listen to it. So, we're going to take a little music break real quick, you guys. We're going to play. The name of this song is Slave by the group Wet, and Wet is Joya Bruno. So, this is a band that she had back in the day. I think you guys will like it. So, please enjoy Slave by the band Wet featuring Joya Bruno.
At Kroger, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we'd want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
And now you'll find more ways to save on your favorites. When you download digital coupons, you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You know the old saying, selling like hotcakes? What does that even mean? What is a hotcake anyway? They should change it to selling like Hondas, because right now Hondas are selling faster than ever. Probably because they're so rugged, long-lasting, and fuel-efficient. And if you want one, you should get to your local Honda dealer right away. Check out the 8-passenger Pilot, or maybe the adventurous Passport. But you gotta do it fast, because Hondas are selling like, well, Hondas. New models are arriving right now. Don't wait. See your local Honda dealer today.
He's talking to our next guest, who is James Rooney, the son of Mickey Rooney. And I'll let Jimmy announce him.
Hey, well, he's not here yet, you guys. We're working on the technology a little bit, and hopefully it'll work out.
What's the problem? Well, share it with us.
The problem is he just doesn't. He's not technically savvy.
Well, couldn't he get somebody that was to be with him?
Well, I guess not.
I'm going to beat him when I see him.
Anyway, keep talking because I've got things to do.
I'm going to say if James doesn't come in, I'm going to scream because so many people are watching today because they heard that Mickey Rooney's son is going to be here. And James and I had a lot of fun at an event we went to on Melrose a week or two ago, and we met for the first time. And he spoke of Judy Garland, and I spoke of Jane Russell, and we went from there to speak about all the old-time stars that we both knew. Probably we had been at the same affairs and parties, but not recognizing each other because it was 50 years ago, and we looked a lot different 50 years ago than we do now. But he's a fun guy, and I really hope that he finds his way to our show because you'll enjoy him. Any update yet?
No, I'm working on it.
Jimmy's working on it. It's really simple to get into our show. Just
B. Claudia also joined us from Germany. Hey, B. She joined us earlier, but I couldn't bring up because Tyler was on.
Oh, I mean, it's easy to just come into our show. Just do whatever. What is it you have to do to come in?
You just click the link. You click the link, but you got to do it in Google Chrome. That kind of sometimes messes people up.
Yeah, so how come strangers can't click the link and appear on our show?
Because I don't give them the link.
Oh, it's a special link.
It's a special link, yes.
Oh, it's not a public link.
No, there's a link to watch us, and then there's one.
Otherwise, some nut will get naked and link in. That's all we need. They keep throwing things of ours off the air. That's like Facebook. Facebook says, what have you got to say? And then when you say it, they don't like it. They take it down. So I don't understand why they say, what have you got to say?
Let's do one more. Let's do one more trailer so I can. Oh, because he's calling me. Let's play No Authority. Can I get your number, you guys? This is Ricky Rebel before he came Ricky Rebel. Enjoy.
Your sexy attitude and something about your smile. I knew right
Yay! Hello.
I didn't do it. I was watching your commercial. I hope the world doesn't hate me. I'm the guy who helped create boy bands.
Yeah.
Me and Lou Pearlman created all those boy bands, and now I think the world hates us. I'm in East, I'm in West.
Hang on one second. Oh, I love your background, though.
Thanks.
All right, so he'll come back. When he comes back, just let him in. So anybody...
Oh, wait a minute, Jimmy. I thought you did rehearsals before.
No, I didn't do rehearsals. He's too busy. He's working.
I know, but... Well, if a guest is too busy for a rehearsal, then they shouldn't be our guests.
I didn't have to do it with Tyler Maine.
If they cannot clear an okay show, they shouldn't be our guests, because to do this to our audience is annoying.
That's okay.
And the guest has to understand that this is a show. It's not a private conversation.
He'll be back.
So you must always interview them before the show to make certain that they know what they're doing and that their equipment is not on fire.
On fire.
I mean, really. Show business today is down the drain.
Oh, B. Claudia says the echo was gone too.
Yeah,
she said it didn't matter though. Anyway, you guys, so we met Jimmy Rooney at our event last week on Monday at the For the Stars Red Carpet Fashion Valentine's Day event, and he was very fun. And Ron talked to him for a long time, and we just had a good time with the whole thing. So it should be a lot of fun once we get him going.
But dead air is dangerous in our business. We say we call this dead air. So we have to improvise now, and we have to come up with things to say that are interesting or funny. Oh, boy, that makes our job a little more difficult than it is already, but we'll just chat. Anybody out there have a question they want answered, please type it in now so we can read it.
Tell more about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's hear more about the Super Bowl event that you went to, Ron.
Me?
Yeah.
I never went to a Super Bowl. I would never in my life. I wouldn't be
with
caught
Brian
dead.
Sebastian.
Oh, the Super Bowl. I thought you meant the actual game. Oh, I thought you meant the actual game. I would never go to a Super Bowl game. I hate football. But the party on top of Madame Tussauds rooftop.
Yes.
Oh, it was wonderful. I met such interesting people. And we made, shut up, Astro. And we made new friends.
I saw a lot of pictures.
We really had a great time. Yeah. We had a really good time. I mean, it was a beautiful day, and there's nothing lovelier than being on the top of a building in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, overlooking all of what was old Hollywood. I could see the Art Deco rooftops, all the wonderful architecture, and all I could do was think about the great movie stars of years ago and how they wore gowns and tuxedos and pulled up in their 20-foot long limos and got out for the red carpet events.
Yeah, outfits back then are totally different from what we see today.
Well, yeah, what we see today is junk. What they did back then was elegant. The studios, of course, rehearsed them and told them what to wear, who to date, and how to go on the carpet for a movie premiere. So it was all staged. Today, it's haphazard. I've worked the red carpet with Jimmy. Jimmy does a brilliant job, but sometimes the guests get antsy and crazy, and they want to get on, and they all rush you together. And I have to say, stop, it's not your turn. And they disregard what I say, and they continue on. So I've worked it out now with the interviewers. If a guest is not been presented to you to be interviewed, don't interview them. And that worked. And we had a lot of people that were going on. Well, one person said to me, well, who the hell are you? And I looked at him, I said, grow up, moron. You're not getting interviewed. And they said, oh, really? And the guy went up to the thing, and my pal, Trixie, said, I'm sorry, but we're not interviewing you.
Yeah, arrogance should not be able to get you into...
Well, no, not me, because I don't need to take shit from anybody. I mean,
well, not like yeah.
I've earned my dues.
Their arrogance of them thinking they're entitled to be, and...
It's not even arrogance. It's just damn rude manners and ignorance, where I've come from.
Yeah.
I'm on that carpet to assist Jimmy, and you've got to respect my position and wait your turn. You'll get on. You will get on. And half of these people are nobody. And I said to Jimmy, who are these people? Why were they slated? I don't even know them. They're not even actors. They were people that just came, friends of friends. They should not be on a red carpet. A red carpet is for celebrity only, or for the people who are involved in the film, who are in the film, or connected to the film in a productive way. But if you just are friends with somebody, you have no business being on the carpet and having your photograph taken, because nobody knows who the hell you are, and no one cares who the hell you are. So they have to learn red carpet manners. But years ago, it wasn't that way at all. People got out of their limo, they walked in front of the interviewer, one at a time. Here, there's no limos; they just come here by bus or bicycle.
And press too. Press can get a little out of hand sometimes too.
I have one photographer who I will not let photograph me anymore because he was coming in close. I said, please don't do a close-up. And he said, don't tell me what to do. He said, and now you'll never be photographed by me again. And I said, good, because I never will be. I have no intention of ever being photographed by you again.
That's the street. That's what I'm on.
We got him now.
Oh, Jimmy's nice and clear, except for a little bit of echo.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, hey. All right, everybody, we're going to just rock with this because we're going to run out of time, and we don't want to run out of time. We can hear you now. Say something.
Ouch. Sorry.
There we go. All right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, super talented voiceover artist Jimmy Rooney. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey.
Let me introduce you to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Like he doesn't know anymore.
I know he knows you. And then we have a chat room full of people, so say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, world. We're happy campers. I think I'm going to go out camping.
There you go. No, it's terrific.
I intend to smack you from pillar to post when I see you for doing this to us.
No,
you took so much time away from this interview, and I've been waiting patiently for this interview to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got stuck.
Okay. That's okay.
I'm in an office that isn't really my office, so I'm like trying to figure everything out.
So listen, James, before we go any further, I have got
Mm-hmm.
to know this so that I know who I'm interviewing. Are you, in fact, the son of Mickey Rooney?
Well, it's a long story. I was told I was a fake son of Mickey Rooney, but my brother said I wasn't. So my dad had so many kids, I'm afraid every time I go out, I'll meet a new relative. Yeah, I mean, my dad told me, my dad said, you are Corona, which is your mother's name, and you're Rooney. So I said, okay, what does that mean? He says, well, there are many Rooneys. My brother has 5 names, and Mickey Rooney Jr. So I said, am I one of your illegitimate sons? And he said, look at you. You can't tell the difference. My hands, and Spielberg goes, put your hands in the cement. I put him in the feet and everything. He says, you're identical to your dad, and your face. He goes, that you can't change. So I met this girl, and I didn't want to talk to her, and I didn't want to pay her money. So she wrote this article. And then this guy said he got a phone call from the son of Mickey Rooney. It wasn't me. I didn't call him. I don't know who they were. He was some cracker writing a book about Mickey Rooney, and I wouldn't give him any information. And
would you know his name? Do you know his name?
He wrote a book. I don't remember the name of the book, and it was really bad. And
his name, because he wrote on my Facebook page, Ron, you've been had, and he was going, and I kept deleting everything he said because until I spoke to you, I was not going to accept anything he said. So I kept deleting and deleting.
I don't know who this guy is. I refuse to give him money. I refuse to help him write this book.
He's a nut. He's a nut.
That's what several famous people that are friends of mine said. And they said he just wants money. He wanted fame. And then I was sent something about him saying he wrote the worst book of an American Idol in history. And I said, I'm not going to give him any information. And Jimmy Rooney Jr. told me not to talk to the guy. He's a crazy crackpot. And the girl who wrote that article about me, she works in her little garage, underneath her garage in her parents' house, trying to make money and make a name. And Michael Douglas told me she's just some hack who spreads news trying to make it famous off of other people's names. So I figured,
unfortunately, we've got so many screwballs in this business who want to either be you or destroy you. So let's let's not talk about this ever again. Judy Garland. What was Judy Garland like?
Miss Garden, she was funny. I mean, she was very quiet, but I remember, my dad, I could tell you a funny story. That was Elizabeth Taylor, actually. Judy Garland, I knew Liza Minnelli, in New York. She lives in New York while I was living in Los Angeles and Florida and London. So I was only about 10 or 11 when she passed away, and Liza was about 20 because she's 10 years older than me. But she was really a nice lady. I mean, she was, she didn't. I mean, I asked her a question once. I said, "Why do you take so many pills?" And she goes, "Well, Mr. Goldwyn wants me to lose a lot of weight." And I said, "Well, how much do you weigh?" And she goes, 90 pounds. And I went, isn't she goes, the camera puts a lot of weight on you. And I said, wow, you're 90 pounds and she wants you to lose more weight. I said, I'm in big trouble. You know, like, man,
So
move
wait,
over, Waldo.
I want to do a little bragging for you for people who don't know. So we have Jimmy Rooney, you guys. When I Googled you, this Disney site came up and said that, you do 400 voices of Disney characters and that you were one of the original Archies. And you've also done Mickey, Goofy, Tweety, the Minions, Sylvester, E.T., Bay City Rollers, Boo Boo Bear, Yogi Bear. And I also read something that said you could do 4,000 voices, which is an awful lot.
That's a lot. I don't know if I read that. I know it's 400. Walt Disney hired me, and he was actually the first voice of Mickey Mouse. And Roy Disney was more the businessman, so he helped me learn, the business and the voices. But no, it's not 4,000. It's more like 400. I mean, I've done so many voices. Like I'm going to be able to put my voice. Actually, Google contacted me and said, we want you on our GPS as Stallone. Yo, you ain't so bad, go left here, you stupid graphic. And so they want me to give the directions. Hey, go that way, I'm talking to you. So it's kind of fun. But I also work with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've worked with Stallone. I had a company called Canon Films, and we launched a lot of careers for people. We're trying to help people. Today it's all about negativity and these people are trying to tear each other down so to make themselves look better. And my job was, I want to help. I brought some kid all the way from the East Coast to do the voice of Kermit. He was so amazing, and it's, you need to help each other. You got to help each other because
I agree.
It's what the world's all about.
Back in the days when the studios owned the stars, the stars couldn't get away with this because the studios would not permit it. So stars were told what to say, what to tell an interviewer, what to put in a magazine. Today,
and they
wait, hang on, Mick. Today, I mean, Jim. See, you're your father. I don't give a shit.
I know that's what everybody tells me.
You're definitely Mickey Rooney's son. I vouch for that. Anyway,
thank you.
Anyway, today they come haphazardly. They say what they like, and sometimes they don't mean what they say.
Well,
and they say something destructive to another artist.
Right. But what's sad is I knew a gentleman who worked with me, and we were working on Young Guns with Lou Diamond Phillips. Somebody wrote an article about him that was not true, and it destroyed his career, and he lost everything. So I had a little fight with Google, and I said, look, you say you're not the one who put up the article, but you're spreading the article. So you need to take it down or I'll sue you for defamation of character. And I won, and then Google came to me and said, this lady who wrote this article about you and this man, they just want money from you and they want attention. Don't give it to them. And then Michael Douglas said the same thing. Don't give it to these guys. They're not worth it. I'm like, it's sad that people can put anything they want up about somebody and destroy their career.
They get away with it.
It's bullshit.
No, they get
in
away
the old
with
days. Marlon Brando would have went to their house and shot him. I knew him.
But wait,
I was always afraid of him. Or Richard Burton would tell me, he'd say, man, don't you even say anything negative. And I mean, I remember my dad would slap me upside the head and say, what'd you say? Nothing, sir.
But
so it was kind of fun.
Today, how they get away with it is they say, in my opinion. So once you say, in my opinion, it's not slanderous. There's no lawsuit. Because you're saying it's simply your opinion, not basing a fact. And that's how they get away with really slanderizing.
Right. And then when they say, I was sitting here laughing, I go, gosh, I told my brother, Mickey Jr., I said, hey, you know what? I'm really not your brother, they say. And he goes, do they have a DNA? I said, no. Then make them get a DNA and prove it. And so we did, and it worked. So my brother looked at me and he laughed and he goes, I want nothing to do with these crackers because you give them attention, it makes them more popular. So he said, it's not worth the trouble. I said, you know what? Who cares if I'm Mickey Rooney's son or not? You come to hear my voices. You come to hear my music. I'm number one in all of France, Italy, and Germany. So, I mean, if you go
what kind of music do you do? Tell us what kind of music you do.
I sang in the Jersey Boys. I sang for Michael Jackson. I sang for, I should have said that. I sang for a lot of people. It's like, somewhere. They go crazy, But if you go to my site, you can hear my IMDb and you can see all the movies I've been in. I was the first voice which was really cool. I got a cool job. I was messing around on the I would say the lot of Universal. And I was running around, and this guy comes to me and he goes, "Hey, kid, I hear you do voices." And I said, "Sure." And he goes, "Come over here." He goes, "Do Marty McFly." And I said, Doc, we need you. Next thing I know, I'm helping him do all the voices of Back to the Future. Robert Zemeckis, he was really cool. He goes, "This guy can really do voices." And like, and I started doing the parrot for Johnny Depp's movies with the parrot that, would say,
Yes.
"Cut off his head," So it's kind of fun.
Do E.T.
Oh, ouch, Elliot. And I was saying to a certain person in ET, I said, and I asked, funny, ironic, I just called John Barrymore, which is Drew Barrymore's brother, and we were laughing.
We know him.
I said, "Who is this lady that supposedly did ET's voice?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know." I go, "Well, she's got an uncredited title." And they said, "Well, it was some lady who smoked and everything." I said, "Look it." And I said, "You cannot do a voiceover by just grabbing somebody out of a store, dropping into the store and say, do the voice for a major character. You have to be SAG after, all this stuff." And so this guy said, "Well, she really didn't, but she got the credit, but she died right before the movie." I'm like, "Really?" And there was another guy whose name was Bill. I know there was another guy whose name was Bill. And he we were doing all the voices and we were looping the voices, most of the ADR. It's automated dial replacement. I mean, the kids, this is the kind of job you want in Hollywood because it's not that hard, but acting is hard. But the voices are easy. Like I remember, some of the stars we gave voices to, we were like, "Who are those guys?" So it's kind of fun, but it was different. It was different. Today,
and you're in demand, and you're in demand.
Exactly. Like I'm lucky if I can sell a hot dog to a drowning person, But I mean, we get a lot of calls from major companies, and sponsors are so tired of the crap that's out there. They want something with talent. It's like, I did the Minions voice. Oh, Battle Banana. Oh no. I mean, and I have a website up that has all Disney characters on, as I couldn't have that website up if I didn't do the voices. I would be, I would have Disney come after me.
Disney would be all after you because they're terrible. They're not nice.
So, I mean, if people are stupid enough to read one bad article, maybe they're smart enough, which I doubt, to read all the other articles that are underneath it about how good you are and who you worked with. I mean,
so wait. So what are some of your favorite characters?
Scary. Well, you know what? I'll go way back to Hanna-Barbera because, what's her name's dad? I can't remember it. Gosh, she's an actress, and her dad was my agent in Hanna-Barbera. I did the first voices for the California Raisins. Remember those? Heard it through the grapevine, because I could sing and do the voices like Bebop. But I think Yogi Bear was fun, and Lightning McQueen. There was a lot of voices that were good.
All right, so let Ron ask you, because Ron likes to know about like all the Hollywood stuff since you grew up.
He's taken my interview that I thought I was going to get into an entirely different place.
So go.
Well, I don't know that we really have that much in common because I realized he was 5 years old when he knew Judy Garland. I was not 5. I was
10.
10, and I was not. So we really don't know the same people at the same time. I'm way before him. I'm 81. He's nowhere near 81.
Yeah,
I know how old he is.
I'm 108. But you know what? We do know Marilyn Monroe because
I never met Marilyn. I knew
you
Jane
didn't.
Russell.
Are you kidding me? You had some really cool stories because she was my babysitter. So I mean, But I'll tell you a funny story about Elizabeth Taylor and Marilyn Monroe.
Elizabeth, I knew.
Okay, I'll tell you a funny story about those two. Mrs. Marilyn Monroe said, "You know what? I'm going to do something that Elizabeth Taylor would never do. I want to get my career going. I'm going to do something she would never do." And so my brother, he knew her better than I. He's asking her, "What are you going to do?" She goes, "Just watch me." She posed naked in Playboy. And Elizabeth Taylor's religion, she would never do that. So that kind of strung her up higher than Elizabeth Taylor. And I remember one day I was in a room and Mrs. Taylor said to me, "You know what, son?" I go, "Yes, ma'am." She goes, "I've been married as many times as your dad has." I go, "Really?" And Richard looks over and says, "No, you haven't. You married me twice." And he goes, "And what are you even famous for?" I was like, "Oh my God." And then they start throwing things at each other. And I asked her, I go, "Do you really love him?" She goes, "He's the man I love to hate." And he goes, "Who are you?" And they would go at it forever. It was funny. The funniest things I saw. But, it was a different world back then. You could say something and not everybody. I grew up where they said, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Now
Us
it's
too.
That's how I
it's
feel
ridiculous,
also.
man. I mean, the stuff I was called when I lived in Jersey. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
So-
Betty Davis has. I will not
Oh, I
say
loved
what
her.
Betty Davis said. I would never betray her trust. But Betty Davis was probably one of the most outspoken women I've ever met. And she had an opinion about everybody in Hollywood. You name a name, and she gave you an opinion. And that
But it was an
opinion,
honest opinion.
and that was about 10% correct of her opinion.
You're right,
So-
though. It was an honest. That's the way Ron is too. Ron will give you always an
No,
honest
I once
opinion.
said to Betty Davis, "Who would you never want to work with?" And she gave me her answer. I won't say. Anyway, her in general, any man that she would never work with Clark Gable because Clark Gable was too strong. Betty Davis liked weak men to make her stronger because she always played the character, the lead. And no man could ever out character her in a movie, and no man ever has. All her men were selected, and they were calm, quiet guys.
Right.
So
Well, it's just like when I met Mr. John Wayne, and the funny thing about him and my dad, and when they played in that Western, when John Wayne walked through the door, they built the room smaller so he looked big. Then
Right.
when the women walked through the door, they built the doors bigger so the women looked smaller.
Yeah, it's
It was
true.
unbelievable. I was sitting here going, "Oh my God, they're going through the same door, but one's 10 feet tall, one's 6 feet tall."
Right.
So
No,
that was
those are
kind of
the tricks of Hollywood. When
Yeah.
I did a show at the Copacabana in drag as Jane Russell, and my backup dancers were up on the platform, and if I had to use a champagne glass, it was an oversized glass
oversized glass.
to make my hands look small. And so everything
Yeah.
was done because I'm 6 foot in high heels, 6'3" or 6'2". So they had to build everything to make me look smaller. That's
I know.
optical Hollywood. So now
Yeah.
you're little. Did they ever shoot you to look tall?
Well, here's the interesting thing. When I was doing, I think when I don't remember which Back to the Future. Here's the thing that was interesting. When it was during Batman. When Mr. Schwarzenegger came in the room and his scene, they shot the camera looking down to make him look smaller, and then certain other movie star, I won't say his name, he'll kill me, was smaller, and they shot the camera up so it made him look bigger. And
Right.
I was like, it was really weird how they did that.
They did that with Natalie Wood in Gypsy. Natalie
Oh, yeah.
Wood was a tiny girl. I mean, I used to see her and Robert at the restaurant on Thursday nights in Beverly Hills. And
Yeah.
she was a tiny girl. The camera was way down when she did Gypsy on the stripping on the stage.
Yep.
And it made her look so tall and lean.
Like-
Yeah. It's all about
I'm
the
sorry,
camera.
you're right. But yeah, it wasn't Jane. I mean, I met Jane Russell. She's like, she was standing straight up. I was like, oh my gosh. And Mrs.
Jane-
Monroe, she was little or a lot smaller than her.
Well, in
So-
Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Jane Russell was barefoot most of the time. The only time that you saw them both walking in high heels was when they got married at the end, and you could
Right.
see how much taller Jane was
taller
than
she
Marilyn.
was.
Jane was a
Yeah,
big
that-
woman. Jane was a big boned woman. She was a large woman.
Yeah, that's what my dad would say.
Long
you hug
legs,
her, you
very
just
long
want-
legs.
Real quick, Ron, one of Ron's dearest, closest friends, Terry, is in the chat room, which I don't know how she actually got in the chat room. So pick a voice and just say hi to Terry for us.
Hi,
So-
Mickey Mouse here. I was just thinking about Sid and Marty Croft.
Hey Terry,
just
I'll
thinking-
call you. I'll call you after the show. I've been so busy with.
Ouch.
I'm learning. No way. I have to talk to my friend. I never talked to. I'm busy reading 2 scripts, knocking down walls, and doing all sorts of things.
Love you, Terry. Anyway, all right, go ahead. We only have 5 more minutes.
No, I'm
so-
redoing our bathroom. I'm making it a dressing room bathroom. So I ripped down all the walls, got rid of all the closets, and now we're reconfiguring the whole thing so that we have a bathroom that is our bathroom is in the middle of our closet.
So wait, go
It's a
back
very
though.
It's a very in thing right
So
now.
go back. So what did you do in the Batman? So Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze, right? In that?
Yeah, and then Danny DeVito was the Penguin, and
he was the
I
little guy.
remember George Clooney goes, I think I just destroyed I don't want to say anything, George. He said he's going to kill me. He's in France working on something. And he said, I think I destroyed the Batman franchise. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, Batman doesn't chew when he talks. I said, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So what
I
did
had
you do in Batman? Are you a voice of a character?
I had to do actually some stunts and some background stuff. So it was kind of, I was like, ouch. It's like, Batman, call the light, so that was the kind of
love
cool
it.
stuff.
At what age did you meet your father, Mickey?
I think I met him when I was because he came up and he said, "You're my son." It was kind of that weird Hollywood story. This young guy, he was living a normal life, and then he came to Hollywood, and the actor said, "You're my dad." He goes, "I know you're my son. I haven't seen you ever." I think it was around. I'm not sure. I was young when I first met him because I traveled with him until I was like 10 or 11, and then I went off and I had my own album deals. I was in the Bay City Rollers. I was one of the youngest guys to do all this kind of stuff. So then I ran back into him.
You're actually a member of the Bay City Rollers? That was one of the first records I ever got.
If you look it up, you won't believe it. Gonna keep on dancing. Yeah, it was. What happened was
SATURDAY.
Gonna keep on dancing to the rock and roll. So that's why I live in Europe, because I'm all over Europe singing as the Bay City Rollers and Air Supply. But the thing about the Bay City Rollers they're all supposed to be Scottish, and I got a bit of English in me. So Sid Bernstein, who was the Beatles manager, was my manager, and I met Paul McCartney, I met all those guys, and he said, "You know what? They need a voice. They need a voice for this band." And I went, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Well, why don't you go in there and sing a couple of tunes?" I said, "Okay." So I went. Sid Bernstein took me over, and he put me in this thing, and I did the recording, and then the guy's manager, I didn't like him. He was the Bay City Rollers manager, said, "We want to use his voice." And if you look it up, you can see all the names of the people that was a part of the Bay City Rollers. I was one of them. And I mean, I did the lead singing for them, and I did a lot of stuff.
I remember the album cover, like, because you guys, they're all dressed in wild
We
clothes
had the
with
hair-
tube
I had the hair
socks
like
and the
this.
hair. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
got
So we have 2
Donnie
minutes. Go
Osmond,
ahead and
yeah.
say something.
2 minutes. Say something. Ava Gardner. Did you ever meet her? A beautiful woman.
Oh, yeah. Mrs. Gardner was fantastic. No, she was really nice. It's funny. I asked her a question. I go, I got to tell you what she did. My dad first saw Ava Gardner on the MGM studio lot. He walked up to her and said, first thing he said to her, "Will you marry me?" And she looked at him and said, "You're crazy. Come back tomorrow." For 2 years, he came back every day to the same spot, asked her to marry him. So I said, "Why did you finally marry my dad after all this time?" She goes, "He made me laugh." And she goes, "Then he came back." She goes, "Not many men come back." That was so cool.
Jane Russell told me Ava Gardner was nuts. Because I asked her, I said, "What was Ava Gardner like?" And Jane said, "Oh, she was a nut because of all the things that she and Frank did together." Jane Russell was very good friends with Frank Sinatra. So I think she was in Frank's corner more than Ava's.
Yeah, I mean, Mrs. Gardner never really told me she didn't really, Frank was, whatever. She didn't want to. I think, I think she told me some stuff I shouldn't say, but it was interesting,
Actually, we got to go anyway.
I was in London when she died, and then I went and saw Olivia de Havilland. She was amazing. She was 100 and something when I saw her.
She was the queen.
Hey, young man, listen. I'm going out to meet. I was only a child when Mary Poppins came out. With Judy Andrews. I was talking to her about that. Now I'm going back to Europe to see her, to have this reunion with her. It'll be fun. You should go with me because Dick Van Dyke. I saw him doing a show just a couple of weeks ago. He's still great at 91. And
I love it.
You know what? These people are they're our royalty as much as the royal families that I see in Monaco and everything. These guys, man, when you see Julie Andrews, you start thinking, oh, whoa, this is unbelievable, because they don't write stories. They don't write stories like that anymore.
All right, so here's what we got to do because we're out of time already.
And James, I'm really gonna punch you in the head when I see you for not giving us the full interview time. You're gonna have to come back when you're free and you have nothing going on. James, Jimmy, you owe me. Don't ever own an Italian from Brooklyn, because you'll have your knees will get broken on a curb.
Everybody, this is Jimmy Rooney. Congratulations on all your success. We're
thanks, you guys.
Great time. Thanks for coming on. And we'll see you soon.
To seeing you
Take
soon,
care.
Jimmy.
Ouch, Elliot.
You're a great guy.
Thanks, Jimmy. Bye, everybody. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for letting me explain how stupid people write stupid things.
Absolutely.
I don't give a shit about these fucking assholes. Please.
Fuck them.
Hey,
all right.
I got to invite you to my show in France. They love it. It's crazy. But yeah, you should just look at my IMDb and just see what shows I'm doing.
Jim.
Don't prove
Listen,
anything. You got it.
Clark Gable and Loretta Young had a daughter. Okay.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with you. You're a son
That's
out
right.
of wedlock. Look, Mickey Rooney was a horny son of a bitch, and I understand he was hung like a mule. So he
All
must
the
have been.
time.
He must have been banging every bitch in Hollywood. So I'm
You know
sorry.
what's funny? You said the same thing that
Banging every-
what's his name said. But you know what? It's funny is Clark Gable. I talked to Clark Gable Jr. and he had a sister. Clark Gable had a daughter that he didn't know he had a sister of. You know how I found out? We were eating dinner and I looked at this girl and I said, "Man, your ears are bigger than his." And she goes, "That's my dad's are." And we didn't even know that was Clark Gable's daughter.
Wait, we got to go, though. We got to go because
That's
we're way over time.
Hollywood.
That's Hollywood. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
Jim.
Thanks, everybody.
Can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. So come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
You know the old saying, selling like hotcakes? What does that even mean? What is a hotcake anyway? They should change it to selling like Hondas, because right now Hondas are selling faster than ever. Probably because they're so rugged, long-lasting, and fuel-efficient. And if you want one, you should get to your local Honda dealer right away. Check out the 8-passenger Pilot, or maybe the adventurous Passport. But you gotta do it fast because Hondas are selling like, well, Hondas. New models are arriving right now. Don't wait, see your local Honda dealer today.
What's better than Outback's limited time features? Enjoying them with your mates, obviously. There's bloomin' fried shrimp for Jessica. That is like so crispy. Espresso butter to spice up Henry's filet.
So bold, so juicy.
And a smoked cinnamon pecan old-fashioned that'll make Picky Pete's taste buds tingle.
I'd order another round.
At Outback, we've got something for everyone. So come in, relax and enjoy. Because good food is best with good mates. Come grab your table today at Outback Steakhouse.